Good morning, everyone. How's it going? Welcome. I am here this morning for our third Riff on Rest as part of this lovely mini series to celebrate seasonal rest beginning on Friday. And today I'm going to be joined by the amazing Katie Holland. She is a sacred dance practitioner, and I have learned so much from her over the past few years. Hi Bex. Hi Katie. I will invite you to join now. Hi everyone who's joining. If you want to let me know where you are watching from, that would be lovely. Just invited her to join. So the idea behind this mini series was to, hey Katie.
Good morning.
Hey, can you hear and see me okay?
Yeah, can you with me?
Yes, I can. Hi Jane. Oh, hi to everyone who's joining. So Katie is just saying you are a sacred dance practitioner. You are the creator of Awaken Bellydance, and just words always fail me when I try to speak about your work or introduce you, just because of how magic the work that you do is. So thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for inviting me. And I think with what I do, it's something, as you know, it's to be experienced rather than kind of put into words.
Yes, that's a very good point. Some things you just can't put into words, that is for sure. So I wanted to talk to different people about how they integrate rest into their lives. And I thought that you were a very interesting person to talk to about this, because Katie and I are both Capricorns. We both struggle with slowing down sometimes, and I think with resting. But something I've been touching on a lot this week with people is the fact that, resting, looks really different for different people. It can mean different things, but essentially we're talking about nervous system regulation, and being grounded and present is so incredibly useful and foundational to all of the work that you offer, right?
I hope so, yeah. Yeah, and I've been thinking about this a lot, since you asked me, and my experiences with this, or my learnings with this. I'm sorry if it's a bit wobbly. I've got a cat crawling around me.
That's okay.
On the picture, she's okay. So she's like crawling all around the table.
To get involved.
Yeah, definitely, Miss Kitty, Kundalini Kitty. I think for me it's been a huge learning of the ways that I've found to rest, which isn't maybe how people would think that you would rest, and also being kind to myself as well in that, and realizing that I don't have to be a robot and be like non-stop on the go, but at the same time finding how I can be on the go and still in a restful way. So I think it's probably only the last, I guess, 10 years that I feel like I got to grips with it more, and the understanding of what my body required.
That seems to be such a huge theme with everyone. Like, the older we get, the more we kind of start to learn that we're not invincible, and we do need to rest and slow down. But also it's peeling back the layers of conditioning, that we need to be productive all the time and be going, when obviously we're cyclical, organic, wonderfully cosmic creatures that require rest and you say you've started to learn to incorporate it more into the everyday, and it like bringing that into activity still. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really good at sleeping anywhere. I'm like a, and I'm literally anywhere. And I was thinking, I remembered this morning, one time in particular when I was at college and we were out in the woods drinking and partying, and I got to this point where I was like, I just need to have a little sleep. And I just laid down on the leaves and had a nap for an hour, and everyone else carried on. And then I woke up and was like, right, I'm ready to go again. And so I've always done things like that. Or yeah, just fall asleep on people when there's maybe like a group of us having a conversation, and I'll just have a little nap on somebody's shoulder and then come back into it. So,
just have a little nap. Yeah, I've seen you fall asleep like when we were, I think, driving through Cairo traffic and on a little minibus, and you easily just had some sleep. But I mean, like, that's quite an extreme example of rest in that it is literally like sleeping and shutting the body down. Like, when you're conscious, like, do you other ways you found that are like restful? I know that you do, like, for example, lots of energetic practices and meditation daily.
yeah, and I think again this was something I had to learn, that because what I do as my job is also my passion. It was like, where's the beginning and end of the work and of the kind of restfulness in that, and is there a separation, or is it what I came to is like, it's just me, I'm just doing what I want to do, and what I enjoy doing, and because I enjoy doing it, it's restful. So I definitely feel the difference if I'm in a situation of in somebody else's structure, you could say, where it's not for me, and I'm like, I need to get back into my own zone. So yeah, with the practices that I do, as you know, I'm very kind of a grounding every morning person, and what I feel within that, it's like my reset and my recharge for the day, because I often wake up feeling very, very tired, because I know that I'm very busy while I'm asleep as well. And so I can wake up sometimes and feel more tired than if I've been awake all day. And so this has been really challenging through my life, and making boundaries with that okay, talking to my body, to my soul, like, just chill out tonight while we sleep, and don't be off on the astral playing and
Yeah.
so yeah, so that balance, and really of yeah, where am I, like, what's the reality? Is it at night? Is it in the day? Like, where's the, again, is there a separation in that, and in which place can I rest the most? Because yeah, I often wake up and feel like I've been in some big battle and jumping dimensions, and I'm like, okay, now I have to teach a training for 12 hours today. And so, yeah, so doing that grounding, like, I take 20-30 minutes every morning, and I even now, the last years, again, set my alarm earlier, whereas before I would get up at the latest moment possible. But I set my alarm earlier so that I definitely have time to do that. And within that, it's like, I feel that I'm really coming into my body, that I'm very present, I'm very solid. And through that, I feel this kind of whoosh of energy. It's like the energy that's everywhere, that's all around us, and that I'm connecting to that. So because often people say to me, oh, you know, you teach these like 16-day awaken belly dance training, and like, how do you have the energy? But it's because I'm not necessarily using my energy or giving my energy. Like, yes, it's my body, but I think out of anything, it's probably that I feel more mentally tired when I'm teaching in that way, because of like the kind of answering questions and the logistics of things. It's not necessarily me or my body that's tired. I actually always feel more energized. So I think, especially if somebody's working on an energetic level in any kind of practice, if you feel tired, then this is a bit of a warning sign that you're kind of bleeding your own energy into it. So it's I look for like how energized and rejuvenated do I feel.
I think that's such good advice, not only with energetic work, and I mean I can relate to that as well, like in terms of the awakened belly dance, but also with like yoga teaching, for example. It is energizing, and like you say, if anyone's familiar with like Reiki or, for example, things like that, other energetic practices, you're right, it's like you are a conduit for the energy. You are not giving your energy away to other people, and you are energized by the exchange. But I think that's a really good touchstone for people, maybe generally, like in their lives, thinking about the activities that we do, and considering what's useful and what's not. How does it leave me feeling afterwards? Because something we've been touching on a lot this week as well is boundaries, and needing to have them in order to be able to rest. And I think being discerning, and as you say, questioning like, how am I feeling after this, also helps us realize if the activities that we're doing are maybe not right, as well as the way that we're doing them.
And also the situations and the relationships that we're in as well. And I think that because we're so conditioned to rescue and to give all the time, and this in itself is totally draining, but we're then taught to feel guilty if we prioritize ourselves and take our own space. And and I think because I grew up in a house with 3 siblings and my parents, so there wasn't really, in my mind at least, I didn't really have personal space, or like I was sharing a bedroom for a long time, and so for me, I didn't really understand about that, of like how to be alone and how to just be, really, because I was so used to being with other people 24/7. But in a lot of ways, that was also a really good training for me in then what became my work. So
sadly we can't escape from people all the time and be complete hermits.
No, exactly, and
neither do we want to, but as like highly sensitive people, it can be hard to be around people all the time.
And how to be highly sensitive and but also be in the busiest marketplace, and to be okay with, and also I think because for people that are very empathic and are sensitive, as soon as we're born, it kind of creates a trauma, because it's like, what am I doing here? What is this place? Who are these people? Like, why did I come here? And so we kind of, it's not I don't want to say disadvantage, but it's like we're already stressed. Our nervous system is already stressed because of that. And even like for me, I didn't necessarily have a traumatic birth, but from my own self-work, it obviously was traumatic for me being born and coming into a body, and this kind of set the scene for my nervous system to be under stress throughout my life, really.
We're all definitely dealing with trying to regulate our nervous systems continually, and avoiding being in this constant state of high alert and scanning for threat, which we do subconsciously anyway to keep ourselves alive, but So when we are in our sympathetic nervous system for too long, that problems start to arise with chronic stress and other dis-ease and things. But like you say, grounding, I think, is hugely, hugely important, and something that I didn't implement into my own daily routine until after the Awaken Bellydance training. And now I do it every morning without fail. It is part of my, and I'm not just saying that, it's part of my, energetic armoring, and clearing and grounding as part of my meditation practice, because when I wake up in the morning, I feel particularly delicate and fragile and kind of permeable, and I really don't want to interact with anyone until I've done these processes. So for me, it's hugely important. And like you say, if you wake up feeling maybe quite tired, you've been out on the astral, things have been happening, or just generally you're feeling tired, it is an incredibly useful tool to use on waking and throughout the day, actually, like grounding. But I find particularly in the morning that it's useful.
Yeah, and it's it's also a way just to check in with yourself and like, hey buddy, how are you doing? And remembering that actually you have this vehicle that is taking you through the day. And
I love that. Remembering that you have this vehicle, it's so true. Like, we're cut off from the neck down. We can forget that we have this body. And
yeah, and even simple things like, oh hey buddy, how do you feel today? You know, what can I feed you? You know, what will serve you the most for breakfast, so that you can then serve me in what I need to do today. And really simple communication with yourself. And this I feel it really creates a strong connection with who you are, and also, like you said, about boundaries as well.
yeah. Definitely. And I think the more you do that, the more you strengthen that bond with yourself, and that ability to know what you really want, from, basic decisions like, as you say, what you want for breakfast, to like, what am I doing with my life? Do I really want to do this thing? Like, big thing.
Yeah, and reminding yourself that you don't have to rescue the whole world today, so you can take that strength out of your body.
Oh my gosh, we all need to remember that constantly. Especially, I think, those of us doing kind of like healing work, in that kind of energetic work, and remembering that we have to take care of ourselves, before we can take care of anything else or anyone else.
Definitely. And this, I know I've spoken to you about the Kundalini kind of experiences that I've had, but the very first one when I was 27, which is, I guess, 16 years ago now. And this was like a very strong message, along with a lot of other strong messages. But it was very, you have to put yourself first, you know, you have to really think about the relationships that you're in. And you have to listen and talk to your body, because if you don't, then you're not going to recover from this, and like from the Kundalini stuff, because it completely fried my nervous system. And it was like I had to self rehabilitate, really, because at first I didn't know what it was. And it was only after a few months that I met a teacher who kind of talked to me more about it. But I still didn't really have anyone that could guide me step by step. And this was again where like the grounding had to come in, and the being in my body, and I'm not escaping from it, because my body was so weak, and my adrenals were overloaded, and it was like, how do I get back to me again, and to having this strength in my body again. So it's, I think the Kundalini as well is like a key, because there's also a very fine balance between the adrenal activation and this gateway opening for Kundalini, and it's kind of through that, when your body almost can't fight it, that the Kundalini can come through. But you're in this sort of danger zone then of like your physical body maybe not able to cope in the same way that your soul and spirit can. So how do you find the balance? And I think also through that, I realized, like, again, in this last 16 years, there's maybe me as a soul that was like, right, okay, we're running with this, and having to be like, hang on a minute, I have this physical body that is a bit screwed right now. and can't keep up, and feeling this kind of, okay, that's here and that's here, and having to say to myself, look, you've got to be patient and let your physical body catch up with this on an energetic level, so that there's a balance. Otherwise, yeah, you're just like never going to get out of bed again. So
yeah, patience and kindness and acceptance of our physical bodies I think is huge. And so you've touched on grounding. Like, what other somatic practices do you use to help regulate your nervous system and to keep the Kundalini flowing?
It varies. I mean, I'm very a non-routine person, which I think most people would say routine regulates their nervous system. But for me, it stresses me out to have a fixed routine. The most routine that I can deal with is the grounding every day, and the like having a shower and brushing my teeth. And even that is I'm like, really, do I have to do this again and again and twice a day? So I'm like, my husband is always like, for God's sake, just go and brush your teeth so you can go to bed. And I'm like a toddler, like, not yet. Leave it till the last moment. So I really just go with what I feel. So sometimes it could be walking in nature. Other times it could be like, I regularly go to an osteopath and acupuncture and homeopath as well. So, and this varies. Sometimes I might have a few months where I do, and sometimes I might go every week. So it really depends what's going on. And yeah, and just it's hard to say, because I can't really say that I carve out a set amount of time each day. It just happens when it happens. So it could be in one day, if I've got a lot of teaching, that I have 5 minutes, and it might be when I'm in the bathroom and I just sit for a minute and okay, and that's like my rest for that day. And other times I might have a day where I'm just lounging around and watching videos and yeah, just like not really doing too much, but that is very, very rare. So
I was going to say, that doesn't really sound like you, but so important to find even like a pocket of time within our schedule or lack there of schedule. Like, I think that's really lovely that you've shared that, because like you say, I think a lot of us really struggle with this idea of structure and routine and having to have it, when actually I'm back. My Instagram just did something strange. It's going to come back on again. I've got like an app that stops me using Instagram and I'd already pressed an hour before when I got the time wrong. Like, I have to approve it for a certain amount of time. It's going to do it again in a sec, but I'll do the passcode anyway. Was just saying, it's really refreshing for someone to just be so honest and like, hey, actually, structure, routine, it doesn't work for me. Because so many of us, I think, feel like we should implement it. Should, always a dangerous word, but like working with you has particularly shown me that you do need to leave room for fluidity, and yeah, right brain on, like allow some space for chaos within a container to some degree, right?
Is in the morning before the with the grounding, like before and after the grounding, it's like I've got up and I've had a shower, and then again I'll just lie down and I'll do that grounding, and it's really enough for me. I think that it's so different for everybody, that some people can sleep with 4 hours, some need 12 hours, and I think it's important to also follow that. And also, again, for me, I have no fixed time to sleep or no amount. I just sleep what I need to. And so sometimes it might be 4 hours and it's for several days or weeks in a row. And then other times I might be in bed for 15 hours. And, you know, I might not be asleep for the whole of that time, but I'll just be kind of chilling in the morning. And so yeah, it's very much with what I feel in my body. And in the same way that I know lots of people say, you know, get off your phone for, you know, to relax and get away from electronics. But in other ways, for me, sometimes that can be, is very grounding, and what's very restful is just to watch something on YouTube that I'm interested in, and take half an hour to do that. And or to distract myself from brushing my teeth and listen. So.
Oh yeah, that's really lovely to hear. Such like a nuanced and like different approach, and just yeah, like you say, like the heard is saying something like always is always wrong and never is never right. And I think that's true. Like it's a try to let go of the rigidity and create some more space for flow, even if it's just on days when we don't have to work and have other kind of constraints, like whatever might be external factors in our lives. But that's really cool. Thank you.
Oh, pleasure. And it's something I've talked to a lot with one of my sisters, who is the closest in age to me, because growing up we were very, very active, like doing gymnastics and dancing and swimming, and I was doing competitive swimming as well. So for us, that was our enjoyment and our rest. And when we got older, and we were saying that, say to somebody else having a week off and just doing nothing at all, lying by a pool and whatever, to us we would feel really tired doing that, because it's almost like our energy just goes boom and down. So we were saying that we feel almost, you know, like a wind up bunny. It's like we need a certain kind of activity every day, or at least every other day, so that it's like there's a boost of energy within that. And I think it varies so much from person to person. But yeah. just to give you an idea as well, in the, I guess the way for me of time off is like, for this year, so we October, I haven't really had a day off the whole of this year. Like I've had bits, like a few hours here and there, half a day or something, and it's like I like it in that way, that there's like an intensity.
Doesn't sound like you.
But then over the winter, I'm going to have 2-3 months where I won't be doing very much apart from online sessions. And I'll be in a place that's at the beach, and that is very, again, nurturing for me, and but at the same time where I can swim and exercise and write my book as well. So
exciting.
So it's like I think I'm more like that. Instead of like this 1 or 2 days off a week, it's like I kind of have this intensity of work hard and then intensity of play hard. So.
That's cool. Yeah, I get what you mean about like sometimes if when you do nothing, your energy just drops through the floor, it just bottoms out. You kind of like, it leaves you feeling more groggy, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. You know, like if you've been working really hard all year and then you book a week off on holiday and then you're like, oh, why can I not relax? And actually I feel more tired after this. Why? And I think you're right, it's finding this balance of activity and rest. Like, yeah, for me over summer I took quite a chunk of time off my regular yoga classes that I do as self-practice that are led with another teacher. And I took a break away from that. I was still doing my own practice, but after a couple of weeks, I found that actually I was more tired and felt like I needed to get back to it because I needed that constant movement. And yeah, for me, movement is hugely, hugely important as part of my rest and grounding, but can be different forms of movement. Like you say, on different days, it can look like different things. It can look like a sweaty, intense run. It could be a very intense practice, or it could be like gentle, fluid dance or something, walking, or just something way more chill.
Yeah, yeah, and also knowing when, say, before the first Kundalini stuff happened, I would go for like the strongest massage, the strongest yoga, you know, like the most kind of kick the shit out of myself as possible. And then again, it was a learning that actually, do I need to go for the strongest massage? It's like, is that really what my muscles need? And and especially because like when I was living in India and I was dancing, and I might do a 6 or 8 hour rehearsal in the day and then travel for 4 hours and then do a show that night, get back at 5 in the morning and then be up again at, you know, like 10 to rehearse again. And so really I needed the softest, most nurturing massage possible because I was using my body so much. And and I think this is also something that we're conditioned to think, that the harder it is, the more beneficial it is, or the stronger our body will be, you know, whether it's an aerobics class or whatever. But actually something
yeah, we love pain and struggle, don't we?
Yeah, well, before.
Bottom fuck that.
Yeah, not anymore. No, and just to not put yourself and put your body into those situations that's like going, it's like, yes, it's good pushing against boundaries, but also there's other boundaries as well. It's like you don't have to constantly push and push yourself over those. It's okay to kind of be back sometimes, and just like, yeah, the soft is the best.
Yeah, like so true. But for many of us, you know, slowing down can be scary, and we have been taught, you know, harder, faster, better, stronger. But actually, it's, yeah, slowing down is beautiful and enables you to feel on a whole deeper level, and this sense of softness and nuance, if we can have the patience and the courage to do that.
Yeah, and then that's also where it's more restful naturally then, because you might be doing something, or you might be receiving a massage or something of some kind, but there's a natural restfulness in it because you're pushing and pushing. And again, I think for me, that's why I kind of feel like I'm restful a lot of the time, even if I'm active, because of I'm doing it in more of this kind of flow. But then I might have something very spontaneous, and know that then I need to put the action and the kind of more power behind it.
It reminds me as well of, like, you know, the yin and the yang sign, and how one doesn't exist without the other, and there's a tiny drop of each in the other one. And yeah, can we find that rest or that dynamism within the stillness and the quietness as well? There's a drop of each in the opposite.
Yeah, yeah, that's really true.
Oh, I think we are starting to come to the end of our time together, but thank you so much for that absolute wealth of information and wisdom and knowledge. Do you want to speak about what you are offering soon and how people can find you?
Well, I've just got a new website, so it's the first time I'm saying it actually out on a live. So it's awbdance.com, which is for awakenbellydance.com. And yeah, there's loads of new information and kind of pre-recorded courses and things that people can access through there. And there's also a page which has got all the trainings that are coming up for next year. The thing that is the sort of most closest to now is the online Blue Lotus and Awaken Belly Dance Soul School. So this starts on November the 9th, and it's for 5 weeks, and it includes Lotus Tea as well. So although we'll be in our own countries and own places, we can still drink the tea together and dance. And this is it's a completely new course, so I'm really excited for this. And
the Blue Lotus is from, because you're in Cairo at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
And the Blue Lotus is from there, or?
Yeah, grown here. You know, my friend has a lotus temple. So yeah, she's growing the lotus. It's so beautiful. So yeah, so this is the soonest. And then next year there's a retreat in Luxor, which is in February. It's almost full up now. There's just maybe 2 or 3 places now. And then in April,
sorry, is that with dance as well? The
yeah, dance and yoga. Yeah, and as well, and going to the temples in Luxor, and it's going to be really amazing, doing meditations and things. So and then I'll be in England from around mid-April, and I've got inner dance training, access bars training, and then in May, as you know, you're part of it, we've got the first Awaken Belly Dance camp. So it's going to be really amazing. I'm so excited for this. And that's May. And then following that, in the same venue in Wales, is the Awaken Belly Dance training. So over the winter, I'm doing the prerequisite online courses, which are one-to-one sessions with people to prepare for the training. So yeah, the best thing is email me through the website, and you can join my newsletter as well. And I've also got a PDF that you can download from there, which is all about branding and how to navigate crazy existence.
Oh, Brenda says hello. Hi, Brenda. Nice to see you too. Amazing. Thank you. So many rich, wonderful offerings coming up and adventures, and I've already kind of attested like how wonderful and life-changing it has been working with you. So I would highly recommend any of those offerings with Katie.
Thank you so much.
And if you are part of Katie's audience and you don't know me, I am offering a yin yoga nidra and journaling course called Seasonal Rest, starting on Friday. It is celebrating the season of autumn and exploring it energetically through lots of different lenses, traditional Chinese medicine, the chakras, and working with not only these modalities but also breath work, little bit of movement, mudra, mantra, so many different things. And it is basically a container to start to change our relationship with rest, composed of life practices and also a whole video library full of resources that you can slot in around your everyday. So if you're interested in that, the link is in my bio. It would be wonderful to see you there. But yeah, thank you so much, Katie, for making time to speak to us today. And I'll post this on my grid after, pop your information underneath it as well. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. And Yeah, I caught one of the other sessions. I think it was yesterday. So yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to the others and see what they do for their restfulness. Because
I love how contrasting yours is, and that's why, you know, I wanted to speak to so many different people to demonstrate that it can be so many different things for different people, and that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, I could have just made up anything and said, well, you know, I do this and I'm like a ball.
I wouldn't have let you say that you just chill and have bubble baths, because I know that's not you.
No, no, I do sometimes have baths with salt, but I
Yeah.
yeah, it's not very often, and especially living in Egypt, it's rare to have a house with a bath as well. So I've already
Oh.
flooded the bathroom this morning with the shower already. I thought I was going to be late because I was trying to mop up all the water. I was like, oh.
Oh, well, thank you so, so much. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to speak to you soon.
And you, bye bye.
Okay, lovely. Bye.
Thank you.